and welcome to this Sacral Chakra Yoga Flow designed to unlock creativity, passion, inspiration, sensuality. My name is Shelagh. I am a yoga teacher, a holistic dietitian, somatic nutritionist, and embodiment mentor, and I am so excited to flow with you. As a hormone dietitian, the sacral chakra is special to my line of work. It is located right around your pelvis or in the womb space area for females. The sacral chakra governs our ability to create, not just life for females, but also anything creative. Art, expression, relationships, ideas, all comes from this space right here. When it is in balance, we might feel inspired, free to express, playful, joyful. When it is blocked, we might experience stagnation, lack of inspiration, difficulty embracing change. And this practice is designed to help you unlock this well of creativity that you have within you. Anything that is the color orange is also really opening for your sacral chakra. So that's why I'm wearing these orange pants, even though with my purple towel, it looks a little bit like Halloween. But we're gonna roll with it, and we'll start with a seated position. So you can sit on a block like I am, or you can just sit on your mat. Maybe you get a pillow. And you can close down your eyes if that feels good for you, or find a soft gaze. Dropping into your breath. Noticing the pace and the depth before you do anything to change it. Breathing in and out your nose. Letting your exhales get a little bit longer as you breathe. Relaxing your low belly space as you inhale. Maybe you visualize your breath as a white light or a golden light or an orange light for your sacral chakra. And you can visualize sending your breath right to that space. Invitation to take this time to set an intention for this brief practice. It could be so simple as just to connect to your sacral chakra or your womb space. Maybe it is to unlock some creativity, or just to be present. We'll start with some hip circles, rotating our torsos. In this Sufi grind movement, you can bring your hands to your knees or your ankles. You can kind of imagine that we are muddling an herb. Keeping your tailbone on the earth, kind of going around town like SpongeBob style, if anyone knows that reference. Breathing in as you move forward, breathing out when you're going back. Letting your shoulders move, opening the heart space as you move forward. Breathing into the back of the heart as you move behind you. And you can switch directions whenever you're ready. Visualizing that breath going down into your sacral chakra. Welcoming any inspiration, creativity, ideas that are meant to come to your soul. We'll take a few more rotations here. Whenever you feel ready, we will transition to tabletop position. So with your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders, we're going to move into some cat-cows with rolling hips. So as you inhale, you can open up your chest and your heart gaze up. And as you exhale, moving into cat, can you take your hips in a little bit of a rotating circle? And this is going to look different for everybody, but just sort of let your hips move. Might be a little bit of a barrel roll, cat-cow. Maybe you move in more of a figure 8 sort of movement. Maybe you take your hips back towards your ankles. Moving your hips in whatever way feels good. Maybe you bend one elbow and then the other. Maybe you sway your hips from side to side. An invitation, if your eyes are not already closed, to close down your eyes here, focusing more on how it feels rather than what it looks like or what I look like. Through this whole practice, I am just a guide. Everything I share is a suggestion, a recommendation, an invitation that you are empowered to take or leave. We'll take a few more of these, about 3 more breaths. And then whenever you're ready, on your next exhale, we're going to quickly move through down dog. So lifting your knees, sending your hips up and back. Maybe you pedal your feet, walk your dog, dance your dog. And on your next inhale, we'll lift that right foot. You can bend the right knee, open up your hip, circle out that hip joint. And on your next exhale, you can step your right foot in between your hands, lowering your left knee down, bringing your right hand to the inside of your right foot, coming into a lizard lunge. Maybe you sway from side to side. Maybe you come down onto your forearms. Maybe if you have a block nearby, you use the block to bring the earth closer to you. Lots of choices. Maybe you take your right hand and gently press your right knee open. Maybe you bend into the left knee, reaching back for your left foot with your right hand. Maybe you try that and your body says, no, thank you. In which case, I encourage you to listen. If you took that bind, you can release it without slingshotting your leg. And then whenever you're ready, on your next inhale, we will lift our left knee up off the mat and step our right foot coming back into a down dog. You can shake out your hips here a little bit. And then on your next inhale, we'll lift that left leg up, bending into the left knee, opening up the left hip. Circling out the knee here and the hip joint. And on your next exhale, we'll step that left foot in between the hands, bringing your right knee down. And you can walk that left hand to the inside of your left foot. And come into your variation of lizard lunge on this side. Maybe this side feels different than the last. That would be perfectly normal. Maybe you sway side to side to bring a little bit of movement in. Or maybe stillness feels better for you. And you can take your time coming into your deepest expression. You don't need to go right down to your forearms or right into that bind. But if you feel ready and if you would like to take it, you can bend into the right leg, reaching back for your right foot with your left hand. Maybe gently swaying side to side a little bit here as well. If you took that bind, you can gently release it. And whenever you're ready, we're actually going to lift that right knee and walk our hands over to a wide leg forward fold. You can let your head hang heavy. Maybe you gently bob your torso up and down. Maybe you bend into your knees one at a time and sway from side to side. Continuing to send your breath to that sacral chakra space. Visualizing that orange light. You can inhale, come up to a halfway lift. Flatten your back. Exhale, fall forward. And you can inhale, come all the way up to stand. And we'll move towards triangle pose. So you can pivot that right foot to face the top or the bottom of your mat. Arms are out east to west. And we'll reach forward with that right hand and just hinge at your hips, tilting down, bringing your hand maybe to your ankle, your shin, your knee. And bringing that left arm up to the sky, gazing at your left thumb. Keeping in mind that the goal here is not to touch the ground. This is less about depth and more about imagining that you're pressed up against a wall, or trying to squeeze in between two rocks. If you do have a block nearby, it might be nice to rest your hand on a block. As you open up your hips, visualizing that breath breaking up any tension. And whenever you're ready, with your next exhale, we'll come back into our wide leg forward fold. Shifting that right foot to be parallel with the left again. And on your next inhale, you can slowly rise and pivot that left foot to face the front or the back of your mat, however you are set up. Arms are out east to west. You can reach forward with that left hand and hinge at your hips. I like to use the visualization of like a teapot. I'm a Little Teapot song always comes to mind for me. Resting your hand wherever it reaches. Gazing up at your right hand or your right thumb. Sending your breath to your hips, to that sacral chakra. Coming back to your intention if it has escaped your orbit. And after your next exhale, we'll come back through a wide leg forward fold. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. And whenever you're ready, you can find your way onto your back. Hugging your knees to your chest, you can gently roll from side to side. And then we're going to move into reclined cow face pose. So crossing your ankles on top of another, maybe this is where you stay. Maybe this is plenty for you. But you can reach for the knife edges of your feet and pull them apart like you're stacking your knees on top of each other. And then pulling this whole shape in towards your torso and your chest. Using your breath to break up any tension. We'll take 2 more breaths here and then switch sides. On your next exhale, you can gently switch, crossing the other ankle over on top. Whichever side you started with will be on the opposite. And it's normal if this side feels kind of funky, right? Whatever side you naturally start with is going to feel more natural to you. So this other side always feels really funky to me, which is normal. Our left and right side bodies are not even close to symmetrical or identical. Not forcing it. Visualizing the energy moving through you with your breath. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, you can release the bind. Bring both feet to the mat, bending your knees. Maybe you take a little windshield wiper with your knees from left to right. And you can send your legs out long and come into our Shavasana. If you do have a block or a pillow nearby, it might be nice to bring it underneath your tailbone, opening up your hips a little bit further. Might be nice to tuck your shoulders behind your back to open up your heart space. And settling into our final resting pose. Bringing your awareness back to your breath. Focusing on your inner world. Noticing any shifts in energy or shifts in sensations in your body. I am going to leave you here. I encourage you to stay for at least a few minutes. If you enjoyed this practice, make sure that you subscribe and like this video so that you don't miss out on any in the future. Thank you for sharing your practice. I hope you have a peaceful and creative day. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Namaste.